Hey, so today I'm propagating my El Choco Red again. Yes, second chop. As some of you may know, if you've watched my previous videos on El Chocos, that I'm making a El Choco bouquet, and it's come to the point where my last propagation produced new growth and it's time to chop it. So that's what we're going to do today. And I realized in propagating some of my philodendrons in moss and some in perlite, one of the two brought about stronger, thicker, fluffier roots. So I thought we'd do a little experiment and see if it's a continuous thing. So let's get to it. Hey planty peeps, welcome or welcome back to NichesPlants. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Kanisha, also known as Niche, and on this channel we explore all things plants because we love plants and want to live that jungle lifestyle. So if that's something you're interested in or something you already do, please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out. So today basically I'm propagating my El Choco Red again. I do have a previous propagation video and an update which I'll tag above for you to watch after this. So just a little recap, I got this plant quite a few months back. I propagated it. As you see, we've got a cut here and that's where I propagated it. Now, one of the propagations I have recently sold to a lovely lady in the UK, so it's off to a new home, so you won't be seeing that one in my collection anymore. And with this, so this is the new growth point and we've got another new growth point which is here. It's tiny, it's not giving me another leaf as of yet. The leaf it did give me basically didn't survive, so we're going to propagate it. We're going to chop it off, put this one, which I should probably explain what today's video is. Not just a propagation, it's basically an experiment between what will give me thicker roots. Now basically previously when I'd propagated or kind of rehabbing plants, I'd put philodendron in pure perlite, and I did that with my other Choco propagation, and it's given me good roots, semi-thick and thin roots, but I've realized when I put them in moss I get thicker, furrier roots. So I'm wondering, is that just the type of plant or is that because of the substrate or a mix of both? So today's experiment is I'm going to take this little one, chop it, put it in perlite and monitor what the roots look like, and I'm going to take this one and put it in moss and we can monitor what the roots that look like, whether one is thicker or healthier than the other. Not to say that if you propagate in anything other than moss or perlite you won't have healthy roots, that's not the case, but it's just looking at how the roots develop in the substrate and basically what I feel would be best for my plants in my environment. So I thought I would take you along as I do that. This one, I'm not nervous about it, I'm just interested to see how it will develop, considering this is giving me these two new leaves. This was the initial leaf when I chopped it, these are the two new leaves. Look at them, look at this. So that's what we're going to do. Now obviously you can see this yellow leaf, I've left it so that all the nutrients have gone back into the plant, which it has, so I'm just going to pop it off like that, literally. You can see this one is starting to go, which is fine. This is one of the original leaves. It's been on here for months, so I'm not surprised that it's starting to go now, but all that energy once gone. You'll see we've got a new shoot here. There is another new bud, if I can show you. We've got another shoot here and this one here as well. So once we chop these two off, because the energy can't go anywhere else, it's going to push it to that new growth, and we got another growth point. Hopefully it will activate the other one as well. So we're going to get to it, but just to go through these substrates, just in case some of you watching aren't used to perlite or aren't used to moss, we'll go through those. So this is perlite. Basically it's natural, or kind of a natural rock substrate. You can see it's quite powdery, it can break or be broken down quite easily between your fingers, but it helps provide, if you mix this with soil, helps provide aeration to the roots, so you've got a lot more airflow. It helps to prevent the soil from compacting so that you'll help prevent root rot, but it's a good substrate. A lot of people propagate things in it because it holds on to moisture as well as allowing the air to circulate, so therefore the roots, they can move through freely with getting the oxygen as well as the water that they need. And because it holds water higher up in the substrate, the roots still have access to water, but if they need more, they can dip further down to get that moisture. So this is perlite. The other substrate that we're going to use is sphagnum moss. Now, sphagnum moss you soak, you squeeze, and then you put it in. And again, a bit like perlite, it holds onto the water so that the plant is basically surrounded by moisture and it can take the water when it needs it, but also it allows aeration. It's just a slightly heavier substance, so the roots kind of have to push through. Just to let you know what perlite I use is, that's a perlite I use, Westland Garden Health. Now, I'm in the UK, so if you do want to get a bag of perlite, I'm able to get it pretty much every B&Q that I've gone to. Also quite a few home base. You can also get it on Amazon, but I think it's cheaper to get in store. Your local garden centre should have some as well. Where else? I think B&Q, home base, your local garden centre, Amazon if you really need to. In regards to the spag moss, I use New Zealand spag moss. I'll show you what that looks like. I use quite a bit. Oh, yeah, messy. This is it. And it's quite a big bag, to be honest. I've had it a few months and I've not even gone through all of it. It's not cheap, it's about £15. However, the quality is amazing. It's reusable, so you can clean obviously the spag moss if you want to and then reuse it for other plants or the same plants. So it's really good, and it's amazing, and my plant's roots love it. It doesn't break down and become all kind of fragmented as other spag moss have happened in my experience. So I really recommend it. I really like it. I will leave some links down below if in light of where you can get it if you're in the UK, and if you're not in the UK, I will drop some Amazon links below as well if you would like to get either of the products. Okay, so just to note, when propagating these, I'm going to use a plastic container one and a glass container for the other. No reason why I'm using plastic and glass, it's just I couldn't find a plastic container small enough for this smaller cutting, and I'm using a plastic one for this. Now, plastic one basically so that when the roots are growing and developing, I can see them and I don't have to pull them out of the substrate to see how the roots are doing. I can just see it through the plastic and to see if they're doing well. And also when watering, because the spag moss and perlite are in cups that don't have drainage holes in it because they're going to hold the moisture, it allows me to see where the roots end in the cup to where I should leave the water, so that they're not sitting in water all the time, but the water then basically capillary action will happen where the water is drawn up through the substrate so that the roots can get it. So let's get to it. Just another thing to note also, when I chop these, I will put cinnamon on the end of the wound, or basically the wound itself. Cinnamon is good at preventing fungal or bacterial infection. It's a good natural property in that sense. So I'll put that on the cut. Now I will dab them a little because plants do bleed, or bleed in a sense. So when I cut them, you will see that there is some liquid that will form at the end of the cut. I will dab that, put the cinnamon on top of that, let it dry out for a bit, and then we'll pot it. Now, to note with the perlite, I do not soak the perlite first because I find when the perlite is wet, it sticks to your fingers, it sticks to spoons, it sticks to everything. It's easier to put the plant into your container, pour the perlite in, and then add the water to allow it to run over the roots so they're moist, and then allow the capillary action to happen. You can soak your perlite first if you want to. I just find that it's easier to dish it out and then water afterwards. So we're going to get straight to cutting. Also, I nearly forgot to say, I am going to be doing a giveaway. This giveaway is for UK only. In the future, I will obviously try and extend that and make that international. Details at the end, but just so I don't forget. So let's get to propagating. I'm actually quite excited. Nervous for the little one, but kind of excited. So let's do this. Okay, to start, I'm going to do the smaller cutting, which I've got my cutters, which I've cleaned with vodka, alcohol. Okay, so it's probably going to be easier for me to cut on this side because you've got 2 roots there, and obviously we've got this leaf here, so I don't want to damage that one because it's still working for the plant. So probably gonna have to turn it this way, and hopefully you can see that. Okay. Now we're going to, I don't know if I want to like that. No, I want to do it the other way. I want it to be as close as possible with as much on the other side. So is that going to fit in there? Yes, it does, just about. Ooh. No, I think I'll have to do it the other way. Because I really don't want to cut that root. Not as hard as I thought. Clean cut. There we go. 2 roots. That's what that, yeah, it was ready to go. It was like, come on, do this for me. As you can see, it's nice and a nice clean cut. You can actually smell the planty chemical-ish. So that's it. Take off that. Have we got another leaf coming through here? I can't really see anything as of yet. We'll leave it be. It's not, this one hasn't given off too much moisture. You might be able to see a little speckling, but not too much plant bud. I'm going to put cinnamon on it anyway, because we want to be cautious. Literally cinnamon there. Take the end and just dab it in the cinnamon. Literally, see, it's not got much juice or say on the end, so it's not as sticky as it usually, but that's fine. That just means it's not, it will dry out quicker basically. That's kind of what it looks like. We'll leave that aside. Leave that just there. Now, time for this one. Hopefully this will, it should cut as simply and quickly, but looks like we've got a couple growth points on here. I think I can see one there and one on this side. Now, as you might have noticed, we've got a root there. So hopefully as it extends, it will grow down. But again, with the El Choco, with its size, and it has basically aerial roots, you can put it on a moss pole, it will attach and grow. Don't know if you can see me then. So let's get to it. Now this one, I've got to be careful because I've got roots there, roots that I don't want to damage. Probably coming from the top, probably coming from this way in might actually be easier than trying to come from the side, because I don't want to get this wrong. So here we go. I don't know the best way to, do I want to go in that? What? No, I think I want to go in this way. Oh, I think, but I don't know if I should saw it like, and then, well, that could work. I think I could get a lot further around. I hope you guys. Oh. I'm nervous. This cup. Woo! Okay. I was more nervous about this one than the small one, to be honest, even though the small one's probably the one that will need the most help. Okay, that wasn't as, yeah, it's quite clean. We've not got too much moisture on there. It's pretty much clean. I'm going to put cinnamon on both ends, but actually these are not bleeding as much as I thought they would, but I guess because it's maybe an offshoot, it's more stemmy, if that makes sense, because it's got roots here, and that if it was the trunk here, then maybe, I don't know, I'm assuming, I'm just going by my experience. But get this additional just wastage off. Feel like we've got another caterpillar in there, which is great. And all right, let me put the cinnamon on first, and then we can get close and personal. Again, I don't think it's going to stick much on this because it's actually quite dry, but I want to do it anyway just because it's what I do and for precaution. because you never know. There we go. So basically, that's what the end looks like. See, we've got root 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just to note also sometimes, oh, and 5, when you cut plants, the juice can irritate, or the plant blood can irritate your skin. I've had that sometimes where it's been on me and I just get like a little scratch, but if you've got really, really sensitive skin, just be aware of that, and you might want to wear gloves. I know some people do wear gloves because, you know, you've kind of got stuff on your hands and stuff in the soil, but nature, it deals with things, so yeah. So I personally feel, all right, you might be able to see, I think that's a growth point in there, that's 1. What's under that? Nothing. So you've got growth point in there, 1, and I think we've got, I'm not sure if that's a growth point, I don't think it is, it might be, but then we've got another potential one there, I think. Now, what I actually like about this cutting, which might sound strange, is basically you've got stem about centimetre, then you've got roots. Now this will dry out. Now, God forbid, if this did start to rot, I've got a little bit of leeway to be able to chop that off and then still have some roots up here. God forbid it went really bad, this aerial root, I guess I would have to take this leaf off to kind of start afresh, but hopefully we shouldn't have to do that. And that's why I want to start them off in, I'm gonna sit down now, my back's hurting me. Start them off in moss or perlite because it allows aeration, so it allows air to get to the base so that it can continue to dry out, and also it allows the moisture, but it doesn't allow it to get soggy, and therefore for water to sit on it too much and then induce rot basically. But look at it, I won't say it but it's like hand, it literally sits in my hand. It's a good size, and so is this one. This was the first that I grew once I propagated it. That was the initial leaf. Was it actually? No, I'm lying, because when I propagated this, as came through as the new growth, this was the first leaf, this was the second, this is the third. So we've got this little sheath here, which you can see is kind of dying away. Part of me wants to be, yeah, I'm going to pull it back because look at that, it's not really doing much. So we'll pull this back. Yeah, look, that's ready to come off. Alright, there we go. And then you can see that caterpillar will come through and give us a new leaf. Yeah, that's cool. Now, because I'd propagated it, you might wonder why this is. Because I propagated, this was the new leaf. So the caterpillar didn't come through separately, it was attached and forming out of this leaf. Hence why we've got this little sheath on the outside. The others then formed their own, came from a caterpillar. This one came from a caterpillar. Again, you can see that will come from a caterpillar. So that's why we've got this sheath here, because it was initially the protection for the caterpillar to come through. But now that it's kind of growing and it's developed, it will continue to grow like this. So let's put these up. First, I'm going to put cinnamon on these wounds. Again, I've just got it on here. I'm just going to dab it on like that, just like that. The same on this one. Oh, if we can get to it. There we go. Literally, just protect them, help them dry out. Now, technically, I could cut this part off because we don't have any growth points up here. Actually, no, we don't. So I envision that this growth point here will continue to grow, and this one here will start to form, because that's where the energy will be redirected. Obviously, these guys will continue to work in helping with photosynthesis, and then those will do their thing. So, oh, mother plant looks pretty bare, doesn't she? But she'll be fine. She'll give us another 1-2 babies, hopefully. Yeah, so let's pot up these guys. Now, I'm going to use this glass for the baby here. Put perlite in, stick it probably here, and then let the roots do their thing. and then as it develops, we'll get that new leaf come out through here. Now it's doing all right, it's not deteriorated, so I guess we just got to give it time to do its thing. So let's do that. Now, do I want it? No, I want it a bit higher, I think. Literally like that. The other piece of perlite we'll just clean up. Come on. There we go. So basically now I will water it. Now you got to try and remember where the end of the root was. Now I remembered it was about 3/4. It's about here. So I'd say about here. Yeah, so I will water till here so that the water's there, the roots can go down to it, and the capillary action can just draw it up. So we will add water to it. Now I want you to see this. There. Now that's probably a bit too much, so I'm going to pour some out. Yeah. Now, it probably looks like there's loads in there, but because there's perlite, a bit like when you put ice in glass, it looks like you've got loads of drink, take the ice out and you've got like that much. So here currently the water, the water's to about there. I'm going to take out a bit more. Okay, see what I mean, where it sticks to your finger? So that's why I prefer to put the perlite in first, let it set, it holds the plant in place. You've got the water there at the bottom and the roots about here, and then it'll slowly just draw it up, and that root will kind of make its way down to the moisture, to the water and around the glass, and I'll be able to see how it grows and develops. So that's that. Now for the bigger guy, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 5 actually. We've got root 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. I'm going to put in this little plastic pot. Literally going to stick it in about there, and then I'll probably put it against like that way. Or actually try and put it in the middle so it stands up right. And then the roots can do their thing. Now because it's moss, I'll plant it a little deeper so it's sturdy, and then the moss will support it. So now here's our moss. We just put that in, measure where we want this to be. I want it to be a little bit higher. That's about right. Great. As I said, I want to kind of see this root, so I'm putting it at the side here just to kind of get an idea of where it is, and then I can see it develop. So we'll leave that there, but also allow it to kind of center itself. And then we're going to top the rest up. close call. Make sure we're stable. There we go. Add some and air. Just squeeze it to loosen up, and then air will flow through. And there we go. And you should be able to see, even though it's, well, kind of hidden. There we go. The root, just the end of it there. So I'll be able to see it kind of develop and move around. And if I see that grown well, it should indicate that the rest are growing well. And then you should start to see them around the pot. This one here will hopefully start to, I've loosened it up a little bit. Or should it come this way? Who knows, maybe this way. I've pulled it this way a little bit. Hopefully this one will start, as it grows, will start to move towards the moss and then start to root that way. I've kind of pulled it out a little bit, and there we go. Pulled it down just a little bit, you can probably see there. Yeah, I pulled it down. I'm literally going to stick it in the moss right now, just so that it grows that way, because that's what we want. And we'll just cover it like that. So there we go. It was only the sheath that was holding it back, so it'll break through that and grow down, and we should see that to move. And then as that happens, once I put it on a moss pole, then we'll be good to go. Now I've left some of the moss slightly wet around the top, because once I put it back in the greenhouse, one, the moss beneath it will soak up, but two, it allows humidity to form around the plant, and just assist it, because it likes humidity. You don't have to grow them in high humidity, but they do a little bit better, I find, when you do. So that is that leaning? It is leaning. We want you straight, dude. Like, I'm going to put more on this side to kind of balance it out. Not that I have loads in here left, but I think we got the right amount. And literally just press down to hold, to balance you out a little bit. There we go. So these are two methods of propagation: sphagnum moss and perlite, both soaked in water. Now, just to note, as they develop, I will fertilize, because they're growing. If my plants grow, I'll fertilize them, and I'll just water like usual and do that. With the moss, I will water a bit more sparingly, let the top soak a little, and then it will drain down so that it's not too waterlogged. Now, do let me know if you've tried either of these propagation methods and whether they've worked for you. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you have a preferred method. Now, just before we move on, okay, giveaway time. So as a thank you to all you lovely people, I'm going to do my first giveaway. Now, it is UK only. I know a lot of you are from abroad, international, and I will in time do an international giveaway. I just need to work out how to do that. But for this first giveaway, it's basically will be activated once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Now, I don't think we're too far from that, but as soon as we hit 1,000, it will go into action. Now, to enter that giveaway, you need to do 4 things. 1, follow me on Instagram. 2, subscribe to this YouTube channel, NichesPlants. 3, like this video. And 4, put giveaway entry in the comments. So follow me on Insta, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, and comment giveaway entry. That will put you into the giveaway. Once we hit 1,000, it will automatically activate, and the giveaway will be open from 7 days. So from we hit 1,000, 7 days from that point, it will then close, and then I will choose the winner. How will I do that? I will put, as those comments come in and people hit that criteria, I will then put them into an Excel spreadsheet, so you'll all be numbered. I'll then use a generator of Google to choose a number, and then the name assigned to that number will be the winner. What is the giveaway? I will present maybe 2 or 3 plants for the individual to choose. That could be the White Princess, Florida Ghost. I've got to think of a third, but that's how we'll do it. So like I said, an international giveaway will follow in the future. I just need to work out how to do that. But for now, thanks. I love you all. I really appreciate your support. Dare to dream, live to grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.